All right, welcome back to another problem on chain rules. This one's going to be a multiple chain rule example. I chose this one because I thought it looked pretty intimidating. Now you can try starting the problem off like this, or you can try to simplify this a little bit and turn it into a product rule. What we did is we would bring the 8 inside and make that 1 plus sine 5x to the 8th. We would bring this piece up to the top. But as you do that, the exponent becomes -5, and then times 8 would give you -40. So you can do it one of two ways. This one's going to require a quotient rule at some point, because notice that you do have a quotient, whereas this one you have a product. What we're going to do is we're going to do it with the quotient rule. Now, when you look at this problem and you start from the outside and you work your way in, the first thing that you should see is the 8. Right? You're not allowed to go inside until you've dealt with the exponent of 8. So let's go ahead and start differentiating using the chain rule. You would bring down the 8. You would leave the inside alone, which I'm going to use big parentheses here, where you're going to get 1 plus sine of 5x all over x squared plus 4 to the 5th. And then you would subtract 1 off the exponent, and you get 7. So again, all I did was I brought the 8 down out front. You leave the inside alone, subtract 1 off the exponent. And then you're going to immediately multiply by the derivative of what was inside. Now, what was inside, again, was that quotient. So now you're going to have to differentiate this quotient. So what we're going to do is we're going to call the numerator piece f of x and the denominator piece g of x. Because if you recall, the derivative of a quotient f over g is going to be gf prime minus, and then you got fg prime all over g squared. And again, you can flip these two around depending on how you learn the rule. So let's go ahead and find out what f prime and g prime are. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to write f, which is 1 plus sine 5x. Immediately find the derivative. Derivative of 1 is 0, and the derivative of sine is going to be cosine 5x. But again, this is a chain rule. We're not just differentiating sine of x, we're differentiating sine of 5x. So the derivative is going to be cosine 5x, and then you multiply by the derivative of 5x, which is 5. So we had a little chain rule hidden in here. And then we're going to find g and g prime. Now g, we said, was x squared plus 4 to the 5th, and g prime is going to be another little chain rule. You're going to bring this 5 down out front. So you're going to get 5 x squared plus 4. Subtract 1 off the exponent, and you get a 4. And then you immediately multiply by the derivative of the inside. The derivative of x squared plus 4 is 2x. So now I have all the pieces to finish off this problem. So again, we started the chain rule by bringing the 8 down, leaving the inside alone, subtracting 1 off the exponent, then multiplying by the derivative of the inside, which required a quotient rule. So let's go ahead now and finish this problem. So we have all of this. So let me rewrite all of that. Now we're going to multiply by the derivative of this. So let's follow the rule from up here. We have gf prime. So g is x squared plus 4 to the 5th times f prime. F prime is cosine 5x times 5 minus, and then we have fg prime. F is 1 plus sine 5x. And then g prime, and that's all going to be over the bottom squared, which is g squared, So that's x squared plus 4 to the 5th and squared. And we are now done with the chain rule. Being that I made this one complicated, it is kind of difficult to simplify this out. You can do simple things like 5 times 2, which gives you 10. You can bring this 5 out front. You can factor out some stuff, x squared plus 4, and you have a couple over here. I'll let you practice that. You can distribute these exponents so you can get 10. Now I have 3 examples up on the screen. I want you to try each one, again, making sure that if things are not in the right form, that you would rewrite it as something, in this case, square root as something to the 1/2. Give them a shot, and then to find the solutions to these problems, please visit this link right here. Good luck.